Now we're moving on to look at the good news segment that we have for you today.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news. Good news.
So the first good news story is actually Wekebere. I just hope I'm pronouncing the word correctly. Wekebere. And Wekebere is a startup. One thing they are there for is to ensure that, hey, we can pioneer the future when it comes to prenatal care, because we're really bothered about how to reduce infant mortality and maternal mortality, and that is what led to the birth of Wekebere. Now, one thing Wekebere does is they actually have digitized early detection of pregnancy complications, and then also they help to build foundational data that is set for the next generation for screening as well, and then they're using diagnostic tools. Everything is being done digitally. This to enable the woman, they can detect or tell when something is wrong, if there's going to be any complication, what can we do, what's the way forward, so they can actually cut down on maternal mortality and infant mortality. Now, if you're able to detect some of these things early, you're able to give these women the needed care during the pregnancy. Now, it ensures they can live longer, it shows they can have a safe delivery, a smooth delivery, a good delivery, because even if something is going amiss, because of their diagnostic tools, you can tell, okay, this is what might happen, or this is what the situation is. We have to do this or do that before it gets too late. So they've actually built a remote prenatal care platform that provides personalized healthcare solutions for every mother, midwife, OBGYN, hospitals, and for doctors. Now, they have a cloud platform, and the cloud platform actually stores, analyzes, and extracts features from the sensors that will be uploaded by the mobile app. So you download the app on your phone. They have a wearable device. It's like a lightweight belt, and it has sensors that actually picks vital parameters from the mother and the fetus that, is in the mother's stomach, actually, in the mother's womb. So they're able to detect and pick, hey, this or that is happening. And then it uploads it from the sensors onto the mobile app that you have on your phone. And then they have, that's the app, the Wekebere app. So it's convenient for mothers to actually connect with their unborn babies through that. You can view real-time information. You can watch your baby do all the baby stuff when you're carrying a baby and then they're kicking or this happening. The key thing is the fact that we can detect early and beforehand the fact that if there's something wrong with the baby or there's something wrong with the mother, or if it's going to be a complicated but going to be a problematic one, they can detect early and start looking for solutions, which is super key and important. And looking at rural areas where these kind of situations tend to be predominant, infant mortality, maternal mortality, it's super important that we have startups like this that are taking the initiative to ensure that they can cut down on the death rate. Now, Wekebere seeks that they can actually contribute to a healthy community. By doing so, in so doing, they're going to help to prevent the maternal and infant mortality rate. They can provide diagnostic services, which means, look, if we're all healthy, we're fine. We can actually grow the community if we're together. They also seek to increase access to timely, affordable, and quality prenatal and antenatal care services. They also advocate for rural women and their children's health rights. I don't know, if you've been in a rural area, if you've lived in a rural area, you actually have a scope or understand how health issues are over there. You would understand the impact and the importance that Wekebere is actually doing and what they've so far been able to achieve, being able to provide these kind of things. So far, they've received about 25 awards, and they've been able to help, or let's say care for, 15,000 plus pregnant women, and they've been able to connect with 80 plus hospitals. 80 plus hospitals. Now, if you partner with Wekebere, it actually could reduce the pressure load in the hospital centers. Instead of people having to come all the way there and all that, they could actually use the app. They could use the wearable device. And then once it's connected, you get the data and everything. So the doctor doesn't necessarily need to be there, or the pregnant woman doesn't necessarily have to come to the hospital, increasing the number of people that are already there. And let's not forget, we're in COVID-19 times. It's important to be cautious and to ensure that we're keeping safe while we're still taking care of ourselves. Well, in case you want to reach Wekebere, now they are at plot number 507, Upper Mawanda Road, Kampala. You can also send them an email on wekebere@gmail.com. Wekebere is actually WEKEBERE @gmail.com. You can reach them on telephone via +256 773 683 085 +256 773 683 085. And if you want to go check up on them, their website, just search for www.wekebere.org. www.wekebere.org. Well, our next good news is coming from our base Ghana here. It's the Green Gold Farms and how they're tackling Ghana's food import problem. Now, Green Gold Farms actually, they're leading when it comes to agribusiness startups in Ghana. They've been doing well in the case of trying to cut down on food importation here in our base Ghana, because research they did realized that, look, most of the food we import in the country is costing us a lot of money. They are very expensive. We're spending a lot of foreign exchange on that. We don't even have enough in our forex reserves. And then also some of these foods are not that healthy because most of the companies have to use toxic chemicals to preserve these foods for longer periods. And then when they come to, like, the lifespan, let's say it was manufactured in 2010, and probably it's supposed to be there till like 2022, and then we imported let's say 2020. So then, you're just 2 years short of its reaching expiry date. They've just been on the shelf for too long. Nutritional values have gone down. Toxic substances being used to. All these goes to affect our health in the long run. And the worst part of it is that we're spending a lot of money as a nation just to be able to import these things. And when we have so much arable land here in our base Ghana, so what can we do? One key problem Gold Farms also realizes the fact that for most of the farmers who tend to remain sustainable farmers or subsistence farmers, those who stay in the sustainable farming area or just farming to feed themselves and their families, it's because they lack access to finance. They lack access to modern tools and equipment. They lack the technical know-how. They actually don't have much support. So then the little they can do is to be able to farm, to cater for themselves and their families. And that is a big problem, looking at so much land that we have here in our base Ghana. So then Green Gold Farms decided that they're going to partner with local communities, and then they want to secure over 60,000 acres of fertile land, both in the northern and the eastern region of Ghana. And they're going to use the huge land concessions to engage in commercial scale food production, and also they want to create a lot of jobs. Now, if 60,000 acres of fertile land, you know, a lot of people to work on that, a lot. That is going to create like tens of thousands of jobs. That is also going to boost the regional and the national economy, which is very important because most of the farmers, like I mentioned, they don't have access to capital. Now, Green Gold has engaged in a lot of things. They're not the only ones doing this. I mean, they already have land partnerships that have already created over 400 well-paying jobs. And the bulk of which of these jobs, the bulk actually gone to women and the youth that are coming from these partner communities that they are working with. So I think it's a great thing that they're doing. It's a good thing that they're looking out for because it's super important. It's something that people should mainly look out. The CEO for Green Gold is George Boache Sapon. He is actually engaged in a couple of, competitions here and there, trying to be able to rack up some money, support some seed, just to be able to push the idea. Now, this is going to help farmers, those who join, the communities that actually sign on board. You're not just going to be saying, let's do subsistence farming, let's just farm for ourselves or something. No, But it's going to go beyond that, because then you have the capital, you have the support, you have the needed farming modern equipment as well. So you'll be able to do more, input more, you'll be able to reap more, harvest more as well. That's like benefit for you. So for anybody who's interested in the agri sector, anybody who wants to say, okay, I'm a farmer, I'm in this community, I think I wouldn't mind giving you an acre or a few acres of land, probably just to help with it, and let's see what I can gain or how I can benefit or how it's going to help me, my community or the country. You can just reach Green Gold on www.greengoldfarms.com, greengoldfarms.org, actually, not .com. Just search for them. You'll be able to find them, connect with them, and be able to do something. We need to change the narrative. I mean, we have the food, we have the land, but what's the problem? I feel when there are startups like this that are trying to solve the issue, the problem, we should be able to support them so we can cut down on the amount of money we use to import foods into the country. Well, that's all we have for you for good news.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and share.